So it is Sunday, the 4th of December 2016, in front of the Unitarian Church of Montreal, engaged in my alternative spiritual practice of protesting against Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy, which includes, but is not limited to, Unitarian clergy abuse of all kinds, and perhaps more particularly, Unitarian cover-up of pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalist ministers and or Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers. So just going to lay down a couple more chalk slogans, and then we're going to circulate with some picket signs. So a couple of people coming out here. Let's see here. I'm just going to down a chalk slogan here. I don't normally have the camera running when I'm putting down chalk slogans, but I think this morning I'll keep it going as I'm writing my third slogan here. Keep it short and sweet. Unitarians or Unitarian, I haven't decided yet. Let's see how much space we got left. I think it's going to be Unitarian. Okay, we're going to put misuse of blasphemy law. I got some people thrown up there. Younger looking crowd. So misuse. Okay, Unitarian misuse. Yeah, not a lot of room for the of, but I need to put it up on top there because blasphemy is a longish word. So misuse of blasphemy. Law. We'll put hide. Okay, so Unitarian misuse of blasphemy to hide. We'll put child sex abuse, since that sort of covers the territory. I could write pedophilia and rape, but we'll stick to keep it. So I should perhaps mention that today's a bit of an anniversary. It's kind of a double anniversary, actually, because 2 years ago today I was protesting Montreal Unitarian Sue Montgomery's complicity in Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse cover-up in denial, when I was served with a cease and desist demand letter drafted by Montreal defamation and media lawyer Mark Banty, which falsely accused me of libeling Sue Montgomery for telling the readily provable truth about her. That was 2 years ago on this day. And then going back 16 years to December 2000, as I was protesting on the first Sunday in December, which I believe was the 4th, I was actually arrested for allegedly disrupting the order and solemnity of church services. There's actually a law in the Canadian Criminal Code that prohibits the disruption of church services, and rather hypocritical and cynical Montreal Unitarians tried to misuse that law, which is clearly intended to stop or punish the actual disruption of a church service, to shut down my peaceful public protest outside the church, which basically has zero impact on the church service itself. So it took about 3 years, several court dates, to make it clear to the Crown prosecutor and the judge that the Montreal Unitarians didn't have a single leg to stand on in having me arrested for disruption of church services. And to make a long story short, I was acquitted when the Crown prosecutor couldn't prove a single one of the 4 or 5 points of law that he had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt to obtain a conviction. I mean, not one of them. You know, it wasn't like he proved, 3 out of 5, or 2 out of 4 or whatever. Pretty sure it was 4, but it might have been 5 points of law. Anyway, he had to, he had to prove all of them beyond a reasonable doubt to obtain a conviction, and he wasn't able to prove a single one of them. Not a single one. So that's just typical of how Montreal Unitarians misuse the criminal justice system, or otherwise misuse the justice system. I mean, libel is not a criminal act; it's a civil tort. Sue Montgomery is welcome to sue me for libel if she wishes. I don't think she's going to be very successful if she does, because everything I said about her is supported by evidence, and essentially very truthful. So the thing is, however, is this was 2 years ago. This was December 4th of 2014, when I was served the cease and desist demand letter while protesting outside the La Tulipe Club on Papineau Street in the Plateau, Montreal. And the letter ended by saying, that Sue Montgomery will not hesitate to take legal action against me. Well, guess what? It's been 2 complete orbits around the sun since Sue Montgomery, as represented by Mark Banty, said that she would not hesitate to sue me for libel if I didn't erase the blog posts and videos and so on that told the truth about her. And well, she's very, very, very hesitant to actually make good on that threat. And the reason, I think, is because she doesn't have a snowball's hope in hell of winning a libel suit against me, because I can prove everything I'm saying about her is well supported by evidence. So it's not even just a question of opinion, it's a question of provable facts. So so much for Sue Montgomery's attempted misuse of Canada's libel law. And then, of course, there's Canada's blasphemy law, which is known as blasphemous libel. And in June of 2012, June 1st of 2012, so the anniversary of that was, well, the 4 years and 6 months anniversary of the Unitarian Universalist Association's blasphemous libel accusation was Thursday, I believe, and celebrated that by sending a little reminder email to the Unitarian Universalist Association's Canadian attorney, Stikeman Elliott Barristers and Solicitors litigation lawyer, Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe, essentially pointing out to him how, his blasphemous libel accusation not only did absolutely nothing to silence me about such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, but actually caused me to speak much more regularly and much more loudly about them. Prior to being falsely accused of blasphemous libel by Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe, words like pedophilia and rape did not appear on my picket signs. They did not appear in my chalk slogans. I used the broader term clergy abuse, sometimes clergy sex abuse, but I never specifically mentioned pedophilia or rape in my peaceful public protest, sort of keeping things, more civil, shall we say, in terms of using broader terms like clergy abuse, which includes pedophilia and rape, but actually can apply to a lot of other forms of clergy abuse as well. So Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe really didn't help the Unitarian Universalist religious community very much by falsely accusing me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel in an effort to hide online evidence of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists. So, and a few people here. They're going to do a little procession into the church at some point. So they're going to sing their way in. This is cute. This is a new little ceremony that Montreal Unitarians came up with in the new church year, which began in September of this year. Prior to that, there was no singing their way into the church or anything like that. But since the beginning of September, a certain number of Montreal Unitarians have gathered in a little group at the entrance into the church, and then they sing a song or chant a poem or something as they proceed into the church when the service begins at around 10:30. So I guess they're going to be doing that today. And we shall just make sure that the cars see the picket signs here. So in my left hand I have a picket sign saying unsafe sect. In my right hand I have a sign saying atheist UUs are accusing me of blasphemy. Entirely truthful statement. That's something I perhaps didn't mention, is that the Unitarian Universalist Association leaders who are most responsible for hiring Marc-Andre Coulombe to falsely accuse me of the criminal act of blasphemous libel in legal bullying that's clearly intended to conceal pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists are actually known to be atheists. UUA President Peter Morales is clearly an atheist, and even I'd say a somewhat intolerant atheist, somewhat anti-religious atheist, at least when it comes to other religions, which he has spoken disparagingly of. And then there's a former executive vice president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Kathleen K. Montgomery, who would have been the person with the most hands-on responsibility for coordinating the work of Maitre Marc-Andre Coulombe. So that's two of them right there. I'm sure there's a few others, but it's just incredibly ironic, that in the 21st century being accused of blasphemy by atheists. So, oh, there's Diane Rowlett just came out and hugged somebody. Diane Rowlett's the minister of the church. So, okay. Just to put up the picket sign again. The wind blew it over. Go. Not having much luck with the picket sign. Blown over right after I picked it up. Guess I'll have to do it again. So, some unfamiliar faces. Might be some out-of-town people showing up. And let's try and get this picket sign to stay in place. So we're going to switch up the picket signs. Been carrying my unsafe sect picket sign.